energy check-in for the twin flames. Today we're going to be focusing for general check-in for both the twins, mutually just for the collective, and then I just pulled some cards individually for the masculine and the feminines. So today is just an audio because I find myself having to protect my energy when it comes to this journey. I've been having a lot of cyber bullying happening, and last week in my last twin flame reading, there was one narcissistic female who believed she was a divine feminine, and I deleted her comment, but she went off on me, calling me dummy and very, very rude. And I wouldn't consider that a behavior of a divine feminine, because I think if we're all divine feminines and divine masculines, we all understand the journey, and this is really a journey to source, and source doesn't name call anybody. There is a level of respect for everyone's journey, and an understanding that we're not all on the same not all of us are on the same timeline, as well as not being on the same timeline. Our journey is individual, so all the lessons that we are encountering are different. And so readers do their best to pick up the energies. A lot of times we do pick up the energies of the timeline that we're feeling, and that is being sensed in that time, which it's usually the most important message needed for the twins of the collective that's being geared towards you. Spirit knows who's going to come to the reads, so it's interesting that this person came on that last reading. So if any of you saw that last reading, I was talking about how there are triggers happening, and not that was a big trigger for me, but that was definitely a test, because you know how I speak about test to your journey. And what I came to understand, and I've had cyberbullying in other reads. I actually had one in my Sagittarius yesterday, and this person, it's a guy. He tends to come on my reads, which I didn't realize I didn't block him. But anyways, well, what people don't realize with super empaths, when you're an empath and you've been through so much, all that stuff is actually laughable, because you see right through the illusion. You see right through the BS. You see right through the insecurities, and you also see right through the soulless souls that they are, and the ego that they are, because that's all ego, right? To come into another divine feminine's reading, despite what level you're on in your journey, despite of what you're feeling, you don't come and bring down another divine feminine. If we're supposed to be all unconditional love, that's not how you portray. That's not the example we're here to show. And it's one of the reasons why I don't care my readings for my twin flames to be so low. And I understand that not every feminine is going to connect with it. And I actually prefer it that way, because there's a lot of people who truly are not on this journey, and these are hard questions that you have to ask yourself every day. And this journey, like I said, is only understood when experienced, and that's done over time. And then it's also known by how much you grow and how much you resonate with it. So everyone's journey is different. But I'm not surprised by that behavior, which goes with the reading I have today. And I only pulled a few cards because I think I'm at a space of probably doing a little more story time than usual, you guys. Because like I said, this journey really truly is about what you experience, and it's what we experience. And I feel it's more useful and helpful when you understand what another divine feminine is going through, that may feel relatable, so you can tap into your own tuition and find your own timeline and your own growth within your own time. Like I said, I could read you guys cards all day, and a lot of times the confirmation comes from spirit, and honestly, I'm always so grateful with the energy that I'm picking up. So I never doubt the energies that come through the readings, and I love the tarot aspects anyways through my readings. A lot of it comes intuitively, which is, if you guys been watching my channel for some time, already know I like to channel messages, and I have my diary. So I have my own diary. The things I give you, I write down on a notebook. So I have a recording of everything, and these videos allow another version of journaling for me. So these are things I'm already journalizing and I putting into practice as I come here for you feminines. So I really feel the energies right now is to truly protect your energy, and based on the cards that I have in front of me, and I know I'm only doing audio again because audio is actually, my energy is really low, and the editing and converting takes a long time. So when it's an audio, it downloads extremely quickly and I can get this uploaded. So I'm doing this the day of because I've had to rest a lot. So I really feel this is a period for a lot of the twins to go within, both masculines and feminines. This is a very pivotal moment. A lot is coming to surface, but also this is a learning curve here of like shifting relationship power. It's like a paradigm shift. So a lot of karmic closures, you know, soul lessons, and just getting rid of ways. There's a lot of deception out there, and like I said, it's the triggering. So there's tests. So main energy, you guys know I love to pick a major arcana shift, and so the major arcana for the collective, I'm not surprised, is the High Priestess, and with the deck I always use is called Go Within. And so you are a very intuitive person, and there are many wonderful insights that lie waiting inside you. Take time to be quiet and reflect upon the desires of your heart through meditation or prayer. There's no need to take action right now. Be patient with yourself. And I feel this is definitely an energy. So that's why, you know, I'm going to be careful with the energy, my own energy, which I've been experiencing, and you guys know I've been sharing that. So this is definitely a space to spend a lot of time alone. It really is. And it's requiring a lot of patience because a lot of illusions are coming up. You know, bottom of the deck of that was the moon. And so we're seeing a lot of things come to surface, and fears and things are being triggered, and just worry, and a lot of the illusions, deceptions, and deceptive relationships and deceptive people, which are other clarifiers I have here. But the other transitionals for our soul is spiritual places, which I got with the High Priestess. And that's experience a retreat or other spiritual place with like-minded souls to rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. And so this is definitely a space to rejuvenate. And, you know, it's interesting because I've been craving for the past week, I've been craving for like-minded souls, because in this journey, right, sometimes it gets so quiet in your High Priestess energy. It can get so quiet that it can also get so overwhelming, and you know, you find yourself in a space where you can't really share yourself because there's no one who sees like you and thinks like you. And so sometimes I find myself in a space of always giving guidance, but never on the receiving end of that. And so even in my own journey, sometimes I want someone I can talk to and share and make me question things. And that can be challenging for me because I don't have too many people in my circle who I can do that, or at all, because it's been feeling very lonely. And also, as you ascend, there's something about the shifts every time that makes you feel energetically different. And so your light code tends to receive a lot of different perceptions and different the world is just doors of perceptions. And so the more you elevate and just open up and allow yourself to experience, you realize the different doors of perceptions. And so not only that, you know, other main energies I got here were 7 of Swords and 6 of Cups. And 7 of Swords is that illusion, right? The deception, the deceiving. And a lot with the 7, it's a spiritual world. And so we have to be careful with the deceptions of the world and all the doors of deception, all the doors of perception. Some are deceiving and some are truth. And so we have to really, Spirit, usually when they put us in this space of quiet, is so we can better navigate these different perceptions and projections also that are placed on us. The other main energy for the twins is the Six of Cups. And I feel this has a lot to do with, past influences. Some of it is childhood memories, and some of it has to do with your past lives. There's a lot of healing that happens with the Six of Cups, right? There's a lot of nostalgia. So there's a lot of memories. And I feel this is the deception of those memories. So we have to be mindful of these past elusive thoughts that may come to surface during this time as well. Six of Cups is also coming back into innocence, right? And so when we go into this quiet space, there's like a space of innocence because there's so much cleansing that happens in the solitude. And when you reduce the noise, you find yourself really being able to rejuvenate a lot of your energies, right? So like we said, find spiritual places. So a lot of it is for us to retreat. They want us to find retreat, right? It's to rejuvenate our mind, body, and spirit. So once we cleanse that, right? We rejuvenate, we come out. The more when you come back into the 3D, come back into the duality, the more heavier it gets, right? Because at that point we've cleansed our soul, and that's how we're able to witness and understand the different doors of perceptions. The other main energies is the Fool and the Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles, which I'm not surprised, right? The Fool is the activator, right? When you it's that energy for the twins when you arrive to point zero again. And so this retreat allows you to arrive to that point zero, which then the Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles, it's that transition that I'm saying, that when you go into your 3D, your duality, which is your pentacles. Pentacles are everything you see outside of you, right? People, places, things. So when you finally go into your duality, now you've received wisdom on those pentacles, right? And where you've been investing your time, but also where you're going to not invest that time, where things are not conducive for you anymore, where they no longer are in alignment, because this point zero is so fresh, right? There's a need to preserve that freshness. So a lot of the times, it could even come, like, for example, I find myself wanting to all of a sudden like declutter my home this weekend. So there's a lot of the outside things that need to be cleared out. And Eight of Pentacles is a right work in progress. Eight of Pentacles, we're working towards it. So I feel this is an energy of this quiet space is allowing us to work towards things. And I think it's giving both the masculine and the feminine energy to go back into their own corners and kind of clean house. And this is a constant thing. It's the positive and negatives of the energy, the constant balancing of the energies. And this is really what the twins flame energy is about. I'm never deceptive when it comes to this journey. I am not one to over romanticize the journey, because I don't believe in that. Because I believe in source. I believe in the journey, because if anything, it brought me back to source, much, much closer to source. And the same for my twin. And, I pray every day that he's in his healing space and recognizing where he needs to do better. Masculines are always behind, and that's just part of the journey. But the activation still exists. The activation still exists within each other. Now, it doesn't mean there's no love within the twins. There's obviously, it's the purest of love, right? It's the purest of love to source. It's the arrival to source. It's the purest of love to you, and the arrival to you, which is your higher self. And that love that you crave, the reason it feels so attached to the twin also, it's because you've just remembered who you are. You've remembered your higher self, which then brings you back to yourself and this crazy ascension, right? And this energy, because it's an activator, and this energy to really alter so many aspects of yourself and ways of living and the belief systems that you've had. And so it's a challenge. I also have clarifiers, which we got King of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles. And always, you guys, this Nine of Pentacles does not, like, if you guys been watching my reads, this Nine of Pentacles has been in these readings on a week to week, mainly on the feminine side. But this is on the mutual energy for the twins. And what I will point out is also on the masculine energy. Last, for week to week, the feminines were all Nine Pentacles. This week, the masculine is. But mutual energy is still Nine Pentacles. And a lot of Pentacles, right? Because we have the Eight of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles with the King of Swords. And so I just feel this is an introduction of the masculine and the feminine energy, one on the air side and the other on the pentacle side, which is the grounding side, which is also the 3D side. So in our mind with the King of Swords, there's a lot coming, there's a lot of illusions. This is where the clarity comes, and we get to cut things out of our lives, right? Take that masculine King of Swords energy and reduce the stressors in our life, and really make shifts that bring about drastic change. Give me a second, feminines. I'm looking for where is this? So I also, since we had that overall energy too of the Seven of Swords, right? It's the deceptions. So that's the other sword energy, which I feel is why the King of Swords is here, because the deception, this is taking masculine approach to the deception, right? Being more rational about what we have in our lives. This is also, the King of Swords is also like the widower and single people in the card, right? Also father figure. So I always find this as us becoming a protective energy overall, with the mental clarity that we're receiving from the Seven of Swords, right? All the illusions being opened up while we're in this High Priestess energy and connecting on the spiritual realm, connecting on the 5D and above. Some of you can connect much higher, and that's beautiful too. And maybe experiencing much higher channeling during this time. But this clarity is what's bringing about all this change on the physical, which is our pentacles. And we're finding ways to really build security around our lives and what these transitions are, what we're investing our time in again. So a lot of it, again, it's people, places, things. So the main energy for the masculines is the Nine of Pentacles. Like I said, independence. And masculines really working on their independence here, really staying to themselves. The Nine of Pentacles is the 9 again, Hermit energy. You guys know I love the Hermit. So much wisdom comes in the Hermit. And the 9 is also, part of Tesla, right? The 369. And nothing... The 9 is always the single number, and the single number in Tesla is because 9 is the self. Everything, your oneness with source, and that's why if you guys do that research, see the engineering behind 369, you'll notice why 9 is about oneness with source. And so it's also completion, a lot of things that it comes into full circle within the self, and what it does is remind you the oneness with source. And to clarify, the 9 of Pentacles for the masculines was the Hanged Man and the 8 of Pentacles. Again, 8 of Pentacles. So I don't have too many cards here, and things are duplicating here. And again, it's that perspective. So there's so much that they're gaining perspective about in this space, and they're working towards, and that is what their focus is. And I feel they're very much also clearing out illusions and what attachments they had prior. I feel them more focused on themselves and their pentacles, right? Their outer world. So right now they enjoy a lot of quiet time and alone time, and it really does feel that they're embracing these the high priestess energy, the hermit energy in this time. And then for the feminines, we have Queen of Swords. So imagine overall is King of Swords, and then for you feminines is Queen of Swords, right? You're in a space of just also feeling kind of detached, I feel. There is a level of self-preservation that comes with the Queen of Swords energy. And there's definitely a lot to respect about this energy. And I feel like you feminines are all of us, be honest, because I'm in this Queen of Swords, honestly. I'm just more, I find myself more protective right now and clearing my boundaries. And so hence the audio, because there are boundaries we need to create with our energy. And so although I understand how delicate the portals are right now, which is why we have to be careful with the different perceptions, all the doors of perceptions that have opened up for us to shift in timelines, which is why you have to be careful which one you find yourself in, because there are a lot of people, once those doors open, then all these darker souls they're also open for the darker souls, and it puts you in a very sensitive space. And this is why you have to have that Queen of Swords kind of energy. So to clarify the Queen of Swords, you have the Chariot, the Five of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. And this is two water energies here. And it being the Five of Cups, because yes, it will emotionally, drain you. And I feel this is where we give our energy to with the Queen of Cups. So we need to be very careful with our waters right now, and who we I feel interference, and that's why we have to have this Queen of Swords energy. And the Chariot is the number 7, so 7 is very big here as well. 777. The Chariot is taking action, taking charge, and taking ownership. And the number 7 is the spiritual journey, right? It's the spiritual journey to self. It's spiritual and finding spiritual mastery, inner awareness. This is where you get a lot of insight as well under the number 7. And the Chariot on most decks have, the light and represent the light and the dark. But it's how we ground that in the 3D, because this is now in the 3D versus the moon, right? The moon is also the light and the shadow, which we had as overall energy below the deck. But with the Chariot, it allows us to bring it to the 3D, which is how it plays out in duality. And us understanding duality and how it plays out in our life. And this is where we are. It's also a test on what we've learned. And that Queen of Swords energy is needed, because you get to really, for some of you, revisit certain emotions where you really didn't take that Queen of Swords approach, and still allows certain energies to interfere, which is that 7 of Swords energy we're talking about. And it probably puts some of you in an emotional whirlwind too. And maybe some of you are sharp in your tongue for a little bit, which is okay. I think that's the test. And, allow yourself to step away, because if it triggers us in that way, divine feminines, then that's when we need to take a step back and know that the high priestess energy and finding that spiritual place, that place where we can retreat and just kind of be in our own space, is necessary. Again, overall 6 of Cups, so we have to be mindful of past energies, right? Whether it's something that's familiar, right? Six of Cups is something familiar. So whatever is emotionally affecting us, the deceptions, the doors of deceptions of the Six of Cups and the Seven of Swords, that's familiar and like brings back memories or triggers. Again, this is where the Chariot tests us on how we put into action the actual lessons we learned, you know. Then our overall energy for the twins guidance is destiny. Destiny, of course, this is part, so this says whatever, for those who experience this, again, this may not resonate for everyone, but this energy surge is definitely something that's happening for a lot of the twins. So this energetic surge was basically divine intervention, and whatever, so basically the card itself says divine intervention. Whatever is happening right now, it was all orchestrated before you were born. It is all happening for a reason, and it will benefit your growth. Remain positive. And I love that it says remain positive, because you know, this is a challenging time for a lot. When we find ourselves in a lone space, it can feel lonely, and it's that energy I was saying. But, you know, the solitude is necessary because so many things are being brought back into focus. And if we allow that to take place, it's again surrendering, activating, allow the Fool energy to activate within you so you can benefit from the growth, right? And so again, you've been down this road, so it's always a test of how much growth you've had in the process. And so this will, you know, this is something we would have to definitely remain positive about. So let me see if I wanted to pull one more main energy here. I wasn't going to pull anymore, but let me just pull one more for you guys. One more for the twins, spirit, main guidance for the twins during this time. Okay, so we've got two. Wow, I mean, it is what it is. Okay, so the first card is release. Your body is a garden, but you've let others plant flowers in your lungs. They grow while you gasp for air. Cut them off so you can breathe again. I mean, feminine, seriously. And this goes for the masculines too. So there's a lot of releasing. And again, the doors of perception, the Seven of Swords energy that I'm talking about. Your body's a garden, but you've let others plant flowers in your lungs. I mean, seriously, come on. And then the next card is shadow work. Examine your shadow self to understand the parts of you that are wounded and repressed. And imagine, like, if your lungs are if others have planted in your lungs, of course you're gasping, right? And so this is where we get to find where we still feel repressed. I'm not surprised by this energy, you guys, seriously. You know, this is why the quietness and this high priestess really is necessary right now in this time alone. And I feel both masculines and feminines are experiencing a huge desire to be in this energy. Obviously, some don't understand why, but it's a necessary shift, and this is where the surrendering takes place. So I'm gonna leave it right there because I really do think this is a good space to leave it at. I might be doing audios. I'm not sure. I might be doing audios for some time just because they're easier and easier to edit, and just they're much quicker. Also, because this is also a space for me, you guys, I'm also experiencing a lot of this, and you guys know I've been complaining so much about my exhaustion, and so I'm starting to really also needing to be in this Queen of Swords energy where I am very protective, you know, about my energy and my journey. So I want all of you to do the same as well, if you feel called to only, right? Because you're not forced to do anything you don't feel that resonates with you. Remember, this is your own journey. And if you truly believe you're in twin flame journey, then you know this is your own ascension, and this is a vehicle of ascension that you feel is changing your life and you see benefits from it. You know, it's not just about your masculine. A lot of twins get to be with their masculines, but sometimes that's not it, you know, and the truth is that's not the point. The point is coming home to yourself, always, and first and foremost, always. If you get to experience it with your twin flame, you know, beautiful, but, you know, always be open to the healing, because what it does is it's opened so much doors for yourself that it still opens up for a beautiful soulmate as well that is going to be in the same energetic timeline as you, where you will resonate, because at this point you hold a strong sense of self within. And that's part of it. So I'm gonna leave it right there, feminines and masculines. I love you. Please like, share, subscribe, click that bell button if you enjoy my frequency. But with that said, live always relentlessly in striving aspiration. This is the evolution of your soul, and I'm here to nurture you. Until next message. Bye.